Alcohol usually doesn't kill you in one dramatic moment. It kills you piecemeal. A little brain fog here, a little liver inflammation there, a blood pressure spike, a hormonal shift, a restless night. Then one day, years later, the bill comes due. But here's the part no one talks about enough. Stopping can feel like a resurrection, not metaphorically, biologically. As a physician on the front lines of medicine for 40 years, I saw this daily in my practice. And since I quit drinking 28 years ago, I have experienced it myself as well. Today, I want to walk through what actually happens, system by system, when someone stops drinking. No hype, no wishful thinking, just the physiology. Let's start with the brain. Heavy alcohol use disrupts memory, executive function, mood regulation, and sleep architecture. In severe cases, it can contribute to alcohol-related dementia, or Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, which comes from thiamine deficiency. That damage can be permanent. But for most heavy drinkers, the brain is injured, not destroyed. Within days of stopping, neurotransmitters begin recalibrating. GABA and glutamate start to rebalance. Within weeks, attention and working memory improve. Over months, processing speed and executive function continue to recover. Imaging studies show partial reversal of alcohol-related brain volume loss with sustained abstinence. It's not always perfect, but it is almost always meaningful. One caution. After chronic exposure, the brain is more vulnerable. Relapse can cause disproportionate impairment. Now, the gastrointestinal system. Alcohol irritates everything it touches, the esophagus, stomach lining, pancreas, small intestine. It increases acid production, disrupts the gut barrier, alters the microbiome, and impairs nutrient absorption. When someone stops drinking, reflux improves. Gastritis often settles within weeks. The gut lining begins restoring itself. The microbiome rebalances. Nutrient absorption improves. Recurrent pancreatitis can cause permanent structural damage, but abstinence dramatically reduces future attacks and slows progression. The liver is the organ most people fear. Alcohol-related liver disease progresses from fatty liver to alcoholic hepatitis to cirrhosis. Fatty liver can develop in weeks and often resolves within 2 to 4 weeks of abstinence. Alcoholic hepatitis improves as inflammation drops. Liver enzymes begin to normalize within days to weeks. Cirrhosis is different. In this condition, scar tissue replaces functioning cells. That damage is permanent. But even here, quitting changes the trajectory. Mortality drops, complications slow. Some functional improvement can occur as inflammation resolves. The liver is uniquely regenerative, but only if you stop injuring it. Now, cardiovascular health. Alcohol raises blood pressure, increases atrial fibrillation risk, contributes to cardiomyopathy, alters lipids, and promotes systemic inflammation. Within weeks of quitting, blood pressure often falls. Heart rhythm stabilizes. Over months, cardiac function can partially recover, especially in alcohol-related cardiomyopathy caught early. Exercise tolerance improves. Resting heart rate drops. Sleep becomes restorative instead of fragmented. The endocrine system is next. Alcohol suppresses testosterone in men, disrupts estrogen balance in women, impairs cortisol regulation, and interferes in thyroid function in both sexes. And it worsens insulin resistance. Within weeks to months of quitting alcohol, testosterone often rebounds, libido improves, energy stabilizes, menstrual cycles normalize, insulin sensitivity improves, fasting glucose stabilizes, chronic stress chemistry calms down. Now, the integumentary system, the skin and bones. Alcohol dehydrates the skin, worsens rosacea, impairs collagen synthesis, and disrupts vitamin D metabolism. Within weeks, hydration improves, inflammation decreases, complexion evens out, Bone density is slower to recover, but stopping alcohol reduces ongoing loss and stabilizes long-term risk when paired with nutrition and resistance training. That means fewer fractures. Genitourinary health also improves. Alcohol impairs erectile function, reduces sperm quality, disrupts ovulation, and increases nighttime urination. Within weeks to months of quitting, erectile function often improves. Fertility markers can recover. Sleep improves as alcohol-induced diuresis resolves. Next, immune function strengthens. Chronic alcohol suppresses immune response and increases infection risk. Within months of sobriety, immune markers normalize and resilience improves. Now, we need to talk about cancer risk. Alcohol is a group 1 carcinogen. It increases risk of cancers of the mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, colon, rectum, and breast. The mechanism involves acetaldehyde toxicity, oxidative stress, hormonal disruption, and many unknown factors. The encouraging part is that risk begins to decline after cessation. It does not drop to zero immediately, and prior exposure still matters, but sustained abstinence reduces cumulative lifetime risk. The slope changes. Although quitting helps, the body does not flip a switch and become brand new. It does repair in layers. Accumulated days of sobriety bring better sleep and lower blood pressure. Weeks of sobriety bring cognitive clarity and metabolic stabilization. And months bring hormonal balance and cardiovascular repair. Years? They bring cumulative protection against stroke, dementia, cancer, and heart attacks. There are limits. Wernicke-Korsakoff damage does not reverse. Advanced cirrhosis does not disappear. Severe cardiomyopathy may not fully normalize. But even in advanced disease, quitting improves survival. People often assume that if some damage is permanent, quitting is pointless. That logic is backwards. Recovery is not about erasing the past. It's about changing the slope of the future. The body wants to live. It is biased toward repair. But you cannot repair what you keep re-injuring. Alcohol doesn't just intoxicate. It creates chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, hormonal chaos, nutrient depletion, and sleep disruption. Remove the toxin and the biology shifts. I've seen blood pressure drop 20 points in 3 months. I had this happen myself. I've seen fatty liver resolve in under a month. I've seen testosterone rebound. I've seen cognitive testing improve after a few months sober. Not everyone gets a perfect reset, but almost everyone gets improvement. Alcohol kills you piecemeal. Stopping doesn't make you immortal, but it often feels like a resurrection because for the first time in years, the body isn't spending all of its energy just surviving. It can start rebuilding. And rebuilding, even imperfectly, is always worth it. I'm Dr. Donald Crowe, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment below. And if you're serious about beginning your recovery journey, consider checking out the link below where I describe my 90-day sobriety survival kit. Also, I have some free resources involving the CCBBAA checklist to determine whether your drinking is rational, as well as a pre-recovery blueprint that outlines steps to take before you actually quit drinking. And I encourage you to check out this video if you're considering that getting sober at your age may not be worth the effort. I'll see you in the next one.